count still says 1-1, now 1-2 on the board. So a 1-2 count, 1-2 pitch is going to be outside, which makes it a 2-2 count. As Davis gets the signal, here comes the 2-2 pitch. This one's fouled, hits the light post here at the hill, which is going to keep it at 2-2. We got a great crowd on hand this afternoon for our doubleheader in Dahlonega on a cooler Sunday afternoon, about 52 degrees outside. And the 2-2 pitch. This one's going to get over the head of Blair in center fielder Parker. That is, as they're being waved home here, and the Jaguars take an early 1-0 lead over the number 1 ranked team in the nation, North Georgia. After that RBI from Slade got over the head of Parker. And it looks like umps are still explaining something to Coach Brocado. So the Nighthawks are going to meet in the circle, trying to talk things over here. As Coach Davenport makes his way off the field. The Jaguars coming into this one. Catching North Georgia sleeping a bit here, as they look to regroup now with Roberts stepping up to bat. So a runner on first for Augusta. An early 1-0 lead. As this pitch from Davis is going to be outside for a ball. And Roberts this season leads the team in batting average, .388 this year. Also leads the team in hits with 33. As Davis pitches another one outside for ball 2. She also has 18 RBIs this season, third on the team behind Lauren Evans. And the 2-0 pitch, tipped and fouled behind the stands here at the hill. It's going to make it a 2-1 count. And the Jaguars are going up against one of the best pitchers in the Peach Belt Conference in Kristen Davis. As this one's going to be fouled up the left field line, pushing it to a 2-2 count with 1 out and 1 runner on for Augusta. And Davis in the circle for North Georgia has been about as good as it gets, posting a .58 ERA. And has held opponents to a 172 batting average. That ERA first in the PBC, and that opposing batting average second, as Davis gets her first strikeout of the afternoon. So this is going to bring up Evans up to bat. Lauren Evans, a .317 batting average this season, 26 hits, second on the team, as she sees a strike there from Davis to make it an 0-1 count. Evans, a sophomore out of Auburn, Georgia, graduated from Mountain View High School. Pops this one up high into left, but fouled. Quick 0-2 count for Evans. Evans has also posted a .573 slugging percentage this season, second on the team behind Roberts, who's posted a .682 slugging percentage so far this year. And the 21 RBIs for Evans leads the Jaguars. So it's an 0-2 count. Still a runner on first for Augusta. As Davis gets the signal, 0-2 pitch, a swing and a miss. As Davis gets back-to-back strikeouts on the Jags. But Augusta takes an early lead, and that's going to take us to the bottom of the first, where Jolie Lester is going to lead things off when we come back. You're watching North Georgia Softball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
To them, the whole world looks like an opportunity, one to be seized, built upon, and made better for their sport and the people around it. To student athletes, every opportunity is a chance to change what could be and show the world what opportunity can do.
Back with you here in the Gold City of Dahlonega for Game 1 of our doubleheader between North Georgia and Augusta here on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Again, glad to have you all with us today as we head to the bottom of the first, where Jolie Lester is going to lead things off here for North Georgia. Lester has been consistently leading off games for the Nighthawks for about the past 2 seasons now. And actually, after all of that confusion in the top of the first, it's still a 0-0 ball game. Had a couple of miscommunications there on the field, but Augusta unable to put a run up there, and so we're still tied at 0-0. So Jolie Lester leading things off for North Georgia. She's second on the team in batting average. .449 this season with 35 hits to lead the Nighthawks with 31 runs while she's been on base. She's been Mrs. Consistency for North Georgia her entire career as a Nighthawk. And the first pitch to Lester, it's going to be in the dirt for a ball to make it a 1-0 count. And to start this game out, the Nighthawks are going to be going up against Madeline Spinks in the circle for the Jags. As this is going to be outside from Spinks for ball 2. Spinks has posted a 3.56 ERA this season. She's 4-2 with the win-loss record. This is her 19th appearance this season for the Jags. And she's seen the most action in the circle for Augusta this season at 59 innings played. As Lester fouls this one out of play, making it a 2-1 count. And Spinks so far has allowed 74 hits, 36 runs, with 30 of those runs earned. And she struck out 30 batters and walked 26 of them. And opponents have had a .307 batting average against Spinks when she's been in the circle. And this one's going to be outside again from Spinks to make it a 3-1 count for Lester. And the 3-1 pitch. This one's going to be grounded into left. And Lester gets things going here for the Nighthawks. Their first hit of the afternoon, courtesy of Jolie Lester as she makes her way to first. So now the hits are on the board for North Georgia. Bringing up Sophie Mooney up to bat for the Nighthawks. And Mooney has played about as good as it gets this season. A .510 batting average for the senior. As the Jags are going to quickly talk things over here in the circle. And that .510 batting average for Sophie Mooney ranks in the top 10 in the Peach Belt Conference. This will be her 52nd at-bat of the season. She's posted 26 hits and 19 RBIs this season with a home run. And she's got a .784 slugging percentage this season. So the Jags continuing to talk things over here in the circle as the Nighthawks try to take the first lead of the game. And when you look at the NCAA stats website, Sophie Mooney has her name etched all over it. And Mooney averages almost a double per game, has 11 on the season, which is the second most in the country. And she's just one shy of Lauren Evans for Augusta, who actually leads the nation with 12 doubles this season. As Mooney hits this one into shallow left. Throw to second's going to get there on time. So that's going to give us our first out here in the bottom of the first. Lester unable to get to second on time, but Mooney is going to get to first. So now with one out, that's going to bring up Georgia Blair up to bat for North Georgia. Georgia Blair's been a staple in this Nighthawks lineup for years. As she takes a ball there to make it a 1-0 count. Seeing the same situation that Mooney did with a runner on first, this time with an out up on the scoreboard. Blair, a senior from Douglasville, Georgia, takes ball 2 there. Blair this season has a .371 batting average and leads the team with 25 RBIs. And the 2-0 pitch. As Mooney makes her way to second, she's going to slide in and she's going to chug her way for 2. And she's going to go all the way home as Mooney's going to slide into home plate and she is going to get there as the Nighthawks take the first lead of the game, going up 1-0. As Mooney shows off the wheels there and proving why she's one of the best players in the nation in stolen bases. As it looks like we have a player shaken up there for Augusta. I believe that's Madeline Spinks. She looks to be all right, though. Great to see. North Georgia takes a lead 1-0 early in the bottom of the first. Georgia Blair in a 3-0 count. Bases are cleared. This one's going to be outside. Now a 3-1 count. And the 3-1 pitch. This one's going to be down the middle to make it a 3-2 count after that strike there from Spinks. And the payoff pitch to Blair, a swing and a miss. And the first strikeout for Spinks comes against Blair, giving us 2 outs And bringing up Mariah Wicker up to bat for North Georgia. Wicker, the senior outfielder out of Buford, Georgia. One of many seniors on this Nighthawks roster that have been staples in the starting lineup for years. As Wicker takes ball one outside. Still no runners on for North Georgia after Mooney was able to get home. As this one's going to be down the middle for strike one. North Georgia softball would like to thank one of their season sponsors, JSR Heating and Cooling, a family-owned and operated HVAC company specializing in heating, cooling, and air purification in residential and commercial businesses. JSR Heating and Cooling, a proud sponsor of Nighthawk softball. So it's a 2-1 count for Mariah Wicker. And the 2-1 pitch, a swing and a miss. A big swing there from Mariah Wicker is going to make it a 2-2 count. So deuces are running wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs up on the scoreboard. And the 2-2 pitch, as Wicker is going to chug her way to first. She's going to get another crack at it here. Actually, she's able to get on first after that, showing off the wheels. It's going to bring Katie Ward up to bat. Ward this season has posted a .455 batting average on her 33 at-bats. She has 15 hits this season with 10 RBIs. As she takes a ball there from Spinks. And Ward has missed some time this season with injury. Glad to see her back into the starting lineup for Coach Davenport and the Nighthawks, as Wicker is going to slide into second for another stolen base for North Georgia, which has been a staple for them all season long. Wicker was one of the leaders in the Peach Belt Conference in stolen bases for a good bit of last season. And the 2-0. This one's going to be hit into shallow center as Wicker is going to make her way home, slide in, and she's going to get there. And the Nighthawks take an early 2-0 lead as Ward is able to stay on first and keep this thing going here for North Georgia, battling in a 2-out rally. So up comes Mallory Parker up to bat for North Georgia. Parker, a senior out of Kennesaw, Georgia, graduated from Kennesaw Mountain High School. Takes ball one outside from Spinks. And something about these 2-out rallies for North Georgia, they have thrived on for the past 2 seasons. We saw them put a lot of runs up on the board with 2 outs in the national championship last season. We've seen that a lot this season as well, with their backs up against the wall, down 2 outs in the inning. They still find a way to put runs up on the board. And the 2-0 to Parker. Again, outside. So it's a 3-0 count for Parker. Wouldn't expect to see her swing on this next pitch from Spinks. And the 3-0. It's going to be outside for ball 4. So the Nighthawks keep this bottom of the first alive with runners on first and second, bringing up the freshman Caitlin Johnson up to bat for North Georgia. Johnson, a freshman out of Monroe, Georgia, graduated from Walnut Grove High School. Seeing some action here for the defending national champions. As Johnson sees strike one there from Spinks down the middle to make it an 0-1 count. This is Johnson's 11th at-bat of the season. She's posted a .400 batting average, 4 for 10 at the plate so far this season, with 6 RBIs off those 4 hits. As this one's going to be upstairs from Spinks to make it a 1-1 count. And the 1-1 pitch to Johnson. This one's going to cut it inside for strike 2. And the 1-2 pitch to Johnson. Outside, and yet again, deuces are running wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs in the bottom of the first. North Georgia with a 2-0 lead with 2 runners on for the Nighthawks. And the 2-2, this one's going to be tipped and fouled behind Johnson. Count's going to stay right where it is at 2-2. Got Gracie Mixon on deck for North Georgia. And the 2-2 pitch to Johnson. That's going to run the count full. So a 3-2 count for Johnson. Still got runners on first and second. And the payoff pitch. This one's going to be fouled near Bobstein Stadium. So Johnson's going to get another opportunity here. And another payoff pitch. This one's going to cut it inside for strike 3. As Spinks gets another strikeout up on the board, leaves runners stranded on first and second. But the Nighthawks take an early 2-0 lead in the bottom of the first. And that's going to take us to the second. We'll step aside for a short commercial break. You're watching North Georgia Softball on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Today's second inning is brought to you by Raymond Carolina Handling, a proud supporter of North Georgia Softball. A premier material handling solutions provider, Carolina Handling is the exclusive Raymond Solutions and Support Center in the Southeast and a leader in integrative automation systems that help customers move more, faster, and at less cost. Let us help you discover the smartest way to move your business forward. So here in the top of the second inning, in Game 1 between North Georgia and Augusta, Nighthawks took an early 2-0 lead in the bottom of the second. We'll see how the Jags respond here, with Paige Patterson leading things off here for Augusta in the top of the second. As Patterson pops this one up into right. And Mariah Wicker is there to make the easy grab, giving us a quick first out here in the top of the second. So up to bat comes Sophie Baker, a freshman out of Canton, Georgia, graduated from Creekview High School. Takes one right down the middle from Kristen Davis to make it an 0-1 count. This one's going to be outside, making it a 1-1 count. We were discussing the dominance of Kristen Davis in the top of the second. And the dynamic duo of Davis and Tybee Denton, they've been two of the best pitchers in not only the Peach Belt Conference, but in NCAA Division II. This one's going to be fouled out of play to push this thing to a 2-2 count. Davis and Denton have already both been named PBC Pitchers of the Week this season. And the 2-2. This one's going to cut it close for ball 3, so we got a full count. And the payoff pitch to Baker. This one's going to be popped up into shallow right. Play is going to be made as Ward makes the easy grab for out number 2. So stepping into the batter's box is going to be Lauren Barrett, a junior out of Jefferson, Georgia, transferred to Augusta from Truett McConnell University. So we've got a couple transfers on this Augusta squad, with Barrett being one of them. As we mentioned earlier, Poff transferred in from Valdosta State University. This one's going to be just fouled up the left field line to make it a 1-1 count. Jags still looking for their first hit here in Game 1. See if the designated hitter for the Jags can get it here as she fouls this one back to make it a 1-2 count. And the 1-2 from Davis. This one is going to be popped up into left but fouled. This one's going over the dugout of the Jags. Count's going to stay right where it is at 1-2. And the 1-2 pitch from Davis. It's going to be just outside for ball 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Yet again up on the scoreboard. And the 2-2 to Barrett. She grounds this one right back to Davis, who flips to first. And a quick 3 up, 3 down here for North Georgia is going to take us to the bottom of the second. We'll step aside for a short commercial break. You're watching North Georgia Softball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
We have a long tradition of athletics at the University of North Georgia. For the past 50 years, our athletic programs have been making a difference for our university. And today I'm really excited to talk about how we will take that to the next level. When you think about elite athletics, you think about elite performance. Mary Rob, tell me what that means to you.
So elite performance at the University of North Georgia is unique because we have a value proposition unlike anybody else in this country, where we're able to perform at the highest level because of our connections with our Corps of Cadets and our College of Health Sciences and Professions, coupled with our professionals from coaches, athletic trainers, support staff in our Department of Athletics, where we're preparing our student athletes to battle on the field of competition, in the classroom, and in our community. We'll be elite in everything we do.
So today we are really excited to announce our strategic bet, where we are going to deliver elite performance, elite competition, and the most value-adding Division II athletic program in America. Go Nighthawks.
Back with you here at Haynes and Carolyn Hill Stadium in the bottom of the second in this matchup between North Georgia and Augusta on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Gracie Mixon is up to bat for North Georgia, leading things off here for the Nighthawks in the bottom of the second as she takes a ball there from Spinks to make it a 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch. This one's going to be in the dirt for ball 2. Mixon, a senior out of Canton, Georgia, graduated from Cherokee High School. Playing third base for the Nighthawks as she pops this one up into right. That's going to be caught for out number 1 here in the bottom of the second. So a quick plate appearance there from Gracie Mixon is going to bring up Riley Moody up to bat. Moody, a junior out of Douglasville, Georgia, from Chapel Hill, transferred to the Nighthawks from Wallace State. One of the new faces in the starting lineup for North Georgia this season. And even though the Nighthawks have had a handful of new faces here after some staples graduated last season, they have still not missed a beat as these new players in the Nighthawk uniform have stepped up in a big way. And North Georgia is not going anywhere, still the number 1 ranked team in the nation. The 1-1 to Moody is going to be low for a ball to make it a 2-1 count. And the 2-1 pitch, this one's going to be popped up high into right over at the 2:05 marker, and that's going to be caught for out number 2. So 2 quick outs here for the Nighthawks at the bottom of their batting order is going to bring up Jolie Lester back up to bat, who had a hit in her first plate appearance of the afternoon. See if she can go 2 for 2 on the day here. As this one's going to be inside from Spinks to make it an 0-1 count. And Lester's 36 hits on the season ranks 11th in the nation and 3rd in the Peach Belt Conference. Make that 37 hits for Jolie Lester as she's able to go 2 for 2 today and get on first. And now comes Sophie Mooney back up to bat for North Georgia, who, as we mentioned earlier, leads the team in batting average this season, batting over 500. Something that's almost unheard of in softball and in baseball. And Mooney, prior to last season, was over at Division I school Georgia State University. And she has been such a great addition to this North Georgia squad. Was the MVP of the 2023 NCAA Division II Softball National Championship. A utility player for the Nighthawks, whether she's up to bat in the circle or she's over there at first base. She's one of those players that can do it all for Coach Davenport. As she fouls this one up the left field line, making this a 2-1 count. That one almost stayed fair. Luke was there to make the play for Augusta, but the count's going to be 2-1. And the 2-1 pitch. This one's going to be low for ball 3. Got Georgia Blair on deck for the Nighthawks. And the 3-1 as Lester chugs her way to second. And she's going to be safe. Another stolen base for the Nighthawks makes things a bit easier here for Sophie Mooney with a runner in scoring position. A full count for the senior Sophie Mooney. And the payoff pitch, this one's going to be grounded into left. And here come the Hawks as Coach Davenport waves home Lester, and she's going to get home easily there. And the Nighthawks take a 3-0 lead in the bottom of the second, courtesy of an RBI from Sophie Mooney. That's now 4 hits in this game for the Nighthawks. And an early 3-0 lead, bringing up Georgia Blair back up to bat. Blair, as we mentioned earlier, has been a staple behind the plate for North Georgia, catching for the Nighthawks, but she's been fantastic up to bat as she grounds this one into left, and keeps this bottom of the second alive. Another 2-out rally here for North Georgia. It's going to bring Mariah Wicker back up to bat. And Mariah this season has posted a .415 batting average, 22 hits on the season for the senior. This is her 55th at-bat of this 2024 campaign. As she takes a ball outside to make it a 1-0 count. Wicker also has 14 RBIs this season. She pops this one up into left, and it's going to be fouled, making it a 1-1 count. So she'll get another crack at it here. As Pearson over there in left couldn't quite track it down. And Wicker is one of 4 seniors that lead the starting batting order for the Nighthawks, with Mooney and Blair being the other 2. So she's one of 3 seniors to lead off the batting order. As Jolie Lester, who leads things off for the Nighthawks, is only a junior. She's been around this North Georgia squad for quite some time. She's still got another year left to play after this one. 1-2 pitch to Mariah, and this one finally stays fair as Coach Davenport's going to wave home Mooney. Mooney slides in. She's going to be safe. And everybody is going to be safe for North Georgia as they take a 4-0 lead as Mariah Wicker keeps this bottom of the second alive. Back-to-back innings for the Nighthawks, posting 2 runs up on the scoreboard. So up comes Katie Ward, back up to bat for North Georgia. Ward has one of the Nighthawks' 6 hits this afternoon as she takes a ball there from Spinks. And that hit had an RBI attached to it in the bottom of the first. And the 1-0. Outside for ball 2. So it's a 2-0 count. 2 runners on for North Georgia. And the 2-1 pitch. This one's going to be popped up high and deep into center field. And that ball is gone. Katie Ward sends a gift to the terrace as North Georgia blows this one open in the bottom of the second, courtesy of that home run from Katie Ward. Nighthawks are pouring it on here as they take a 7-0 lead. And the 2-out rally continues for the Nighthawks. And after that, looks like Spinks and the Jags are going to talk things over here in the circle as head coach for the Jags, Coach Brocado comes out to talk to her team as the Nighthawks have put 5 runs up on the board in this second inning. And again, it's something about having 2 outs up on the scoreboard that North Georgia has thrived on last season and this season. With their backs up against the wall, they do not fold under pressure. And they now take a 7-0 lead over the Jags with Mallory Parker back up to bat. And after that home run from Katie Ward, she now has 4 RBIs on her 2 at-bats this afternoon. As Parker tips this one, fouled back towards us. So it's an 0-1 count for Parker. Parker was walked by Spinks last time she was up to bat, as she takes a strike there. So now an 0-2 count with 2 outs up on the board for number 2, Mallory Parker. And the 0-2. Upstairs for ball 1. Caitlin Johnson is on deck for North Georgia. As Parker shows bunt. Pulls it back, 1-2. It's going to be outside. So yet again, deuces are running wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs with number 2 up to bat for North Georgia. And the 2-2 upstairs. And just like that, the count runs full. So Parker, who was down in an 0-2 count, now finds herself in a full count against Spinks. And the payoff pitch. That one's going to be tipped and fouled. So Parker's going to keep this at-bat alive here. And the top 5 batters in North Georgia's batting order have a hit. We'll see if Parker can be number 6. And the full count. A swing and a miss as Parker is struck out. But the Nighthawks coming alive here in the bottom of the second, putting 5 runs up on the board to go up 7-0 early. We'll see how the Jags can respond in the top of the third when we come back. You're watching North Georgia softball on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Back with you here at Haynes and Carolyn Hill Stadium as North Georgia takes an early 7-0 lead over Augusta here in Game 1 of this 3-game series between the Nighthawks and the Jags in Game 1 of our doubleheader this afternoon on the Nighthawk Sports Network. As Davis pitches ball 2 to Aaliyah Luke, junior out of Harlem, Georgia, graduated from Harlem High School, seeing her first action here at the series as she pops this one up into right. Wicker tracks it down for out number 1. So that's going to bring Hayden Pearson up to bat for the Jags. Pearson, a freshman out of Oxford, Georgia. Graduated from Newton High School. She swings and misses on that one. One of those utility players for the Jags. Can do a bit of everything for Augusta. As she takes a ball. So one's across the board with number 1 up to bat. And Pearson rounding out the batting order for the Jags here in game 1. Got Poff on deck. The leadoff batter for Augusta. This one's going to be outside to make it a 2-1 count. And the 2-1 pitch. This is going to be low for ball 3. And the 3-1 pitch from Davis as this one's going to get down in left for Pearson as she's going to make her way for 2, and she's going to get there. And the first hit of the afternoon for Augusta belongs to Pearson. And now the Jags return to the top of their batting order with Bobby Poff stepping back into the batter's box. And Poff was able to reach base off of an error last time she was up to bat. And a nice pitch there from Davis. Cuts it inside to make it an 0-1 count. So with 1 out, 1 runner on for the Jags here in the top of the 3rd. Trying to put their first runs up on the board this afternoon. This one's going to be fouled behind the stands here at the Hill to make it an 0-2 count. Bryant Properties is a commercial real estate brokerage firm serving Northeast Georgia and presenting today's 3rd inning. Located in nearby Cumming, Bryant Properties specializes in commercial real estate along the Georgia 400 corridor. For more information on Bryant Properties, visit bryantproperties.net. So after that foul ball from Poff, count's going to stay at 0-2. And the 0-2 pitch from Davis. This one's going to be grounded to Mixon. Mixon throws to first. She's going to get it there on time for out number 2. That's going to put a runner on 3rd for the Jags over there in Pearson. So with a runner in scoring position for Augusta, that's going to bring up number 9, Lauren Slade, back up to bat. Slade was struck out by Davis last time she was up to bat. One of Davis's 3 strikeouts this afternoon. This one's going to cut it inside for strike 1. This one's going to be left outside for ball 2. And with 3 strikeouts already this afternoon for Davis, she now has 55 on the season, putting her in 6th place in the PBC in strikeouts. This one's going to be popped up and fouled. So Slade's going to get another crack at it here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs across the scoreboard. Nighthawks are going to try to keep a runner stranded over there on 3rd. And the 2-2 pitch. This one's going to hit Slade. That one got a piece of her hand there. Leave her right hand as she's going to try to walk this one off. Hopefully she's okay. And that's going to put runners on the corners for Augusta as they keep this top of the third alive. So Slade's able to make her way back to first. And that's going to bring Bailey Roberts up to bat for the Jags. Roberts, the shortstop, out there for Augusta. Roberts' .682 slugging percentage this season leads the Jags along with her .388 batting average. And even with a .388 batting average, still does not rank in the top 10 in the PBC. That just goes to show you how competitive the PBC has been this season, because a .388 batting average, that's still fantastic. But the PBC this season has been just so competitive. She's been their go-to player at the plate. She finds herself now in a 1-1 count after that ball there from Davis. Roberts has also seen the plate more than any player for the Jags this season. As now the Jags find themselves in a pickle here as Mooney tries to track down the runner, and she gets her with the tag, and that's going to bring us to the bottom of the third. The Nighthawks keep the Jags off the scoreboard in that top of the third inning. It's going to take us to the bottom half of the third. We'll see if the Nighthawks can extend that 7-0 lead when we come back. You're watching North Georgia Softball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
If you could buy your next vehicle without going to the dealership, now you can with Beaver Direct. It's fast and really simple. Log into BeaverToyotaComing.com, click on Beaver Direct, quietly shop from hundreds of vehicles, obtain a credit approval, and trade a
Back with you here on the Nighthawk Sports Network on a gorgeous Sunday afternoon here in the Gold City of Dahlonega as we head to the bottom of the third inning between North Georgia and Augusta here in Game 1 of our doubleheader and Game 1 of this PBC series. Nighthawks looking to extend that 7-0 lead with Caitlin Johnson up to bat for the Nighthawks here, leading things off. Johnson serving as the designated hitter for the Nighthawks here in Game 1. Johnson still looking for her first hit of the day. Was struck out by Spinks last time she was up to bat. She shows bunt here and pulls it back. That's going to be a strike. Spinks this afternoon has allowed 7 runs from the Nighthawks, all 7 of those runs earned. She has 4 strikeouts this afternoon as well, as she pitches one outside to Johnson to make it a 1-1 count. As Johnson keeps this one in the infield, and that's going to get away from the Jags as Johnson's able to get onto first. So what could have been an easy out there for Augusta now puts a runner on first with no outs in the bottom of the third, and Gracie Mixon back up to bat for North Georgia. It's now 8 hits this afternoon for the Nighthawks. And up comes Gracie Mixon. Got to fly out last time she was up to bat. So she's still looking for her first hit here in game one. We'll see if she can get it here on her second plate appearance. And the 1-0. And it's going to be inside for strike one. Mixon this season has posted a .275 batting average, 14 hits on the season, and 16 RBIs for the senior out of Canton, Georgia, as she bunts here. And that one's going to be just fouled up the left field line, and so Mixon is going to make her way back to home plate, now in a 1-2 count. Mixon, another one of those do-it-all players for Coach Davenport. Whether she's up to bat or she's making some great plays over there at third base, she does it all. 1-2 pitch as she hits this one into right. And Coach Davenport is going to keep his player on second in Johnson. And so Mixon's going to be out at second, but Johnson's going to be safe at third with one out, bringing up Riley Moody back up to bat for North Georgia. So a runner in scoring position for the Nighthawks. The shortstop, Moody, stepping back into the batter's box. As Moody hits this one directly to first. And the grab over there by Evans is going to give us two outs. But the Nighthawks return to the top of their batting order with Jolie Lester back up to bat. Lester's 2 for 2 this afternoon. As she takes a ball there to make it a 1-0 count. Lester's been one of the most consistent players in the nation when she's been up to bat. The 1-0. Outside for ball two. And the 2-0 pitch. Again, outside, makes it 3-0. Wouldn't be surprised to see Lester not swing on this next pitch from Spinks. And the 3-0 to Lester. She does swing. And the throw to first is not going to get there on time, as Lester, now 3 for 3 today, puts the Nighthawks up 8-0 here in the bottom of the third. And what a start this has been for North Georgia, scoring in every inning so far here in game one. And Lester, who could have neglected to swing there, decided to go for it, pays off, and keeps this inning alive for North Georgia. And just like we saw in the bottom of the first and the bottom of the second, the Nighthawks, with two outs up on the board, turn the dials up. And just like that, the Nighthawks are up 8-0 in the bottom of the third inning. Sophie Mooney's back up to bat for the Nighthawks as she fouls this one near the Jags dugout to make it a 1-1 count. Got Jolie Lester over there on first. She was able to score Johnson. And the 1-1 as Mooney hits this one high and deep into right, and that's going to stay fair at the 2:05 marker, as Coach Davenport's going to wave home Lester, and she's going to get there with ease as Sophie Mooney hits a triple to give North Georgia a 9-0 lead North Georgia running away with it here in the bottom of the third. So Mooney registers her second hit of the afternoon, keeping this inning alive with Georgia Blair back up to bat for North Georgia, as she's got a runner in scoring position now with Mooney over there on third. And this may be the end of the afternoon for Spinks. It looks like it is going to be the end of the afternoon for Spinks as she makes her way out of the circle. And so subbing in for number 22 is going to be number 23, Alyssa Bollinger. Bollinger, a junior out of Palmetto, Georgia, transferred to Augusta from Ave Maria University. Is going to come in relief for Spinks. After the Nighthawks have gone up 9-0 here through the first 3 innings, scoring 2 runs in the first, 5 in the second, and now 2 runs here in the third, threatening to score even more here with Georgia Blair up to bat and Mooney over there on third. So North Georgia softball trying to continue the success that we've seen from a lot of UNG athletics teams this weekend. North Georgia baseball has already secured the series sweep over Claflin. Looking for the series win today. And of course, yesterday, North Georgia men's basketball did something that no other UNG men's basketball team has ever done as they climbed the mountaintop and won the Peach Belt Conference Tournament for the first time in program history. So a big congratulations to Coach Evans and the rest of the UNG men's basketball squad as they bring home the PBC tournament trophy for the first time in program history. A great achievement for this squad. Especially happy for the seniors on that squad with Frank Champion, Greg Billups Jr., Eric Jones, and Case Roach. We're all finally able to secure a PBC tournament win for North Georgia. And the job is not finished as they are looking to make a run in the NCAA tournament with a selection show taking place tonight at 11 p.m. And after that PBC tournament win, there's a great chance that the Southeast Regional Men's Basketball NCAA Division II tournament will be held right over here in Dahlonega. As Blair fouls this one to make it a 2-2 count. So lots to be excited about here if you're a fan of North Georgia athletics. Was able to be in person in attendance at North Georgia basketball's game yesterday in the PBC championship. And it was all smiles for North Georgia as they were able to take a 70-60 win over Flagler to secure that first PBC tournament win in program history. Again, congratulations to everyone on the coaching staff and all the players. Excited to see what the future holds for this North Georgia squad as the journey rolls on here in this 2024 campaign. And back at home plate, it's a full count for Georgia Blair. Still got Mooney over there on third. The payoff pitch as Blair fouls this one up the left field line, so she's going to get another crack at it here. Georgia Blair's 25 RBIs this season, ranks 21st in the nation. Doesn't have to do so here as this one goes over the head of Blair. Mooney's going to be safe at home plate, and Blair is going to be safe at second. And so North Georgia goes up double digits, 10-0 here in the bottom of the third. 3 runs up here in the third as this inning stays alive for North Georgia with Mariah Wicker back up to bat for the Nighthawks. Mariah Wicker today is 1 for 2, was struck out once by Spinks, then had a hit earlier in this game as well with an RBI attached to it. And the 1-0 to Mariah. It's going to be upstairs for ball 2. And the 2-0 to Mariah. Again, it's going to be high for ball 3. We saw Lester swing at a 3-0 pitch on her last at-bat. We'll see if Wicker does so here in a 3-0 count. And the 3-0 pitch decides not to swing. That one's going to be down the middle for a 3-1 count for Mariah Wicker. As Wicker fouls this one near Bob Stein Stadium. So the count runs full for Wick. Still got Georgia Blair over there on second base. And the full count. This one's going to be fouled over to the left side of the terrace. Count's going to stay full for Mariah, who's posted a .415 batting average this season. One of 3 Nighthawks to rank in the top 10 of the PBC in batting average this season. And she hits this one high and deep into left, but that's going to be caught for out number 3 at the left field marker over there by Pearson. But the Nighthawks running away with this one, up 10-0 as we head to the top of the 4th. We'll step aside for a short commercial break. You're watching North Georgia Softball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Northeast Georgia Health System is a proud supporter of North Georgia Nighthawk Athletics.
River City Bank, today's 4th inning sponsor, and they're here to make banking easy and convenient, serving Rome, Blairsville, and Dawsonville. When it comes to meeting your financial needs, they won't settle for anything less than exceptional. To learn more, visit rivercity.bank. So here in the top of the 4th of game number 1 of our doubleheader here on the Nighthawk Sports Network between North Georgia and Augusta, as this one's going to be hit into center field by Roberts. So the first at-bat here for the Jags in the top of the 4th is going to put a runner on first as the Jags put up their second hit of the afternoon. And both of those hits courtesy of Roberts. She's now 2 for 2 this afternoon as Davis is able to throw to first on time for out number 1. But that sack bunt there is going to put a runner on second. So a quick plate appearance from Evans is going to bring back up Paige Patterson into the batter's box. Patterson looking for her first hit this afternoon. This is just her second plate appearance here in game 1. She takes a strike there from one of the best pitchers in the Peach Belt Conference in Kristen Davis. This one's going to be outside for a ball to make it a 1-1 count. And the 1-1 pitch to Patterson, swinging a high fly ball into center field. Parker is there to make the play as she throws to third. And Moody tried to make the play there over there at shortstop. And that one may have gotten to Mixon had Moody not gotten a hand on it. But that's still going to give us 2 outs. And that's going to put a runner on third for the Jags with Baker, the designated hitter, back up to bat for Augusta. She pops this one up into shallow right, and the play is going to be made by Parker, who makes back-to-back grabs to take us to the bottom of the 4th. North Georgia still up big, 10-0, after a quick top of the 4th from the Jags. We'll step aside for a short commercial break. You're watching North Georgia Softball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want with NCAA.com, the home of college sports.
Back with you here in Dahlonega for Game 1 of our doubleheader between the Nighthawks and the Jags here on the Nighthawk Sports Network. North Georgia up big, 10-0, as we head to the bottom of the 4th, where Katie Ward is going to lead things off here for North Georgia, as the Nighthawks are going up against their second different pitcher here in Game 1, as Bollinger stepped into the circle in the 3rd inning for the Jags, stepping on for Spinks. And so Katie Ward steps back into the batter's box, who is 2 for 2 today and had a home run last time she was up to bat for North Georgia. She has 4 RBIs this afternoon, as she takes a strike there from Bollinger. And the 0-1. It's going to make it an 0-2 count after that check swing there from Katie Ward. And the 0-2. This one's going to be popped up into foul territory, and this one's going to hit the top of the Nighthawks dugout, so it's going to stay at an 0-2 count for Katie Ward. That home run on Ward's last at-bat was her second of the season, as Ward pops this one up again into foul territory to make it an 0-2 count. And the 0-2 to Ward as she hits this one deep into left. And Ward's streak this afternoon comes to an end after the play is made over there in left field by Pearson to give us our first out in the bottom of the 4th, which brings Mallory Parker back up to bat. Still looking for that first hit this afternoon for the center fielder, Mallory Parker. She's made some plays in center field for the Nighthawks here in Game 1. Looking to see her back come alive here on her 3rd plate appearance. As Parker takes ball 2. And the 2-0 pitch to Parker. It's going to be upstairs for ball 3. Parker has posted a .407 batting average this season. One of 4 Nighthawks to have an over 500 batting average this year. And the 3-0 is downstairs as Parker is able to make her way to first after 4 consecutive balls pitched there from Bollinger. As Coach Davenport is going to talk things over here with the home plate ump. And it looks like Caroline Branch is going to be pinch running for the Nighthawks over there on first base as she steps on for Mallory Parker. Branch, a sophomore outfielder out of Bogart, Georgia, graduated from North Oconee High School. He's going to see some action here in Game 1 for the Nighthawks, which brings Caitlin Johnson back up to bat. As Johnson sees ball 1 there from Bollinger. Johnson, the designated hitter for the Nighthawks here in Game 1, is 1 for 2. As this one's going to be inside from Bollinger to make it a 1-1 count. So 1's across the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. 1 runner on for North Georgia with number 1 up to bat. And this is going to be ball 2 from Bollinger to make it a 2-1 count. This is North Georgia's 22nd at-bat so far in this game. 2-1 pitch to Johnson is going to be left outside for ball 3. As Bollinger gets a signal, 3-1 pitch. Again, left outside. That's now 2 straight batters walked for Bollinger. Puts runners on first and second. And we could potentially see another pinch runner here as Coach Davenport's again talking things over here with the home plate ump. So now with runners on first and second, we're going to have a pinch hitter in for the Nighthawks. And that's going to be number 14, Journey Roberts. He's going to step into the batter's box for the first time this afternoon for North Georgia. Roberts, a freshman out of Livonia, Georgia, graduated from Franklin County High School. Seeing her first action this afternoon for Coach Davenport and the Nighthawks here in Game 1. Roberts, one of those utility players for North Georgia, as she sees a strike there to make it an 0-1 count. 2 runners on for North Georgia. And the 0-1 pitch as Roberts keeps this one in the infield. Throw to first is going to get there on time. But that's going to advance runners to second and third for the Nighthawks, which puts 2 outs up on the board where North Georgia has thrived all game long. And another pinch runner is going to step up here for North Georgia, and it's going to be number 25, Madison Cosgrove. The sophomore infielder from Columbus, Georgia, graduated from Northside High School. We saw her do a lot of pinch running last season on base for the Nighthawks. One of the speedsters on this North Georgia squad is going to get a crack at it here up to bat for the Nighthawks. With 2 runners on, as she takes a ball upstairs to make it a 1-0 count. Cosgrove is still looking for her first hit of the season. This is her 4th at-bat. As she takes ball 2 outside. And this one again is going to be, this one is going to get inside to make it a 2-1 count. This one's going to be outside, so a 3-1 count for Cosgrove. Cosgrove had 4 hits last season for North Georgia. She's not going to get a chance to get her 5th of her career here, as she's going to be walked to first, and the bases for the first time are loaded with Jolie Lester, North Georgia's leadoff hitter this afternoon, stepping back into the batter's box. As Lester takes a strike there, makes it an 0-1 count. And the 0-1 down the middle for strike 2. This will be a big opportunity here for North Georgia if they're able to get something going here with Lester, who's 3 for 3 today. She pops this one up, fouled. Count's going to stay right where it is at 0-2. The Nighthawks have scored in every inning so far here in Game 1. And the 0-2 pitch to Lester fouls this one near the Jags bullpen. Count's going to stay at 0-2. And the 0-2 pitch to Lester. This one's going to be hit into left, but fouled. Count staying right where it is at 0-2. So another opportunity here for Jolie Lester. And another 0-2 pitch to Jolie as she tips this one and fouls it. Count's still going to stay at 0-2. She continues to battle here with Bollinger. Yet another 0-2 pitch to Jolie. She hits this one over the head of Bollinger. And everybody is going to be safe for North Georgia at the moment. And safe at home plate is Johnson, as Jolie Lester stays perfect, 4 for 4. And the Nighthawks go up 12-0 here in Game 1. So up comes Sophie Mooney, who is 2 for 3 today with 2 RBIs off of those 2 hits. This one's going to be down the middle from Bollinger for a strike to make it an 0-1 count. It's almost as if North Georgia should start the inning with 2 outs up on the scoreboard. That's where they've seen so much success this season. And they have now put up multiple runs in this game with 2 outs as Mooney hits this one right to the second baseman, Poff, which is going to bring an end to the bottom of the 4th. The North Georgia Nighthawks are running away with it, up 12-0, with a chance to close things out here in the top of the 5th. When we come back, you're watching North Georgia Softball on the Nighthawk Sports Network. back with you here in Dahlonega at Haynes and Carolyn Hill Stadium at Lynn Cottrell Park in the top of the 5th inning. North Georgia leads this one big 12-0 over Augusta here in the opening game of this 3-game series between the Nighthawks and the Jags. And game 1 of our doubleheader this afternoon on the Nighthawk Sports Network, with game 2 taking place 30 minutes after the conclusion of this game. North Georgia softball would like to thank today's 5th inning sponsor, Bees Bales, a leader in agricultural production in Cherokee County. So looks like the home plate ump is talking things over here in the dugout for Augusta. May see some pinch hitters here in the top of the 5th for the Jags. And it looks like getting ready to step into the batter's box is going to be number 20, Shelby Summerlin. She's one of the first Jags to make it out of the dugout here for Augusta. Looks like she's going to be on deck. And it's going to be Neva Ross who steps into the batter's box for the Jags. Jags, a freshman out of North Augusta, South Carolina. Graduated from North Augusta High School. Seeing her first action this afternoon for the Jags. As Ross pops this one up. Fouled, but it's going to be caught. An easy out there for Sophie Mooney to give us the first out here in the top of the 5th. And now comes Shelby Summerlin up to bat. And this is going to be the end of the game here for Kristen Davis. As Coach Davenport's going to make a substitution in the circle. And it's now going to be number 32, Aniston Wright, stepping on for North Georgia. Aniston Wright, a junior out of Sonoya, Georgia, graduated from East Coweta High School. Seeing some action here in game 1 for the Nighthawks. Going to try to close things out here in the top of the 5th for Kristen Davis. And Davis has only allowed 2 hits in this game, has held Augusta scoreless. We'll see if Aniston Wright can keep that trend up here for North Georgia here in game 1. And Aniston Wright this season has posted a 4.94 ERA. She's 2-0 on the season. So this is her 6th appearance for the Nighthawks this season. She's pitched just over 11 innings, allowing 15 hits with 8 runs. All 8 of those runs have been earned. She's held opponents to a .341 batting average. As Wright's first pitch of the afternoon is going to be a ball, which makes it a 1-0 count for Summerlin. This one's going to be popped up into foul territory. Mixon's going to try to make a play on it. This one's going to fall inside of the dugout for the Jags to make it a 1-1 count. And Aniston Wright, a pitcher on this squad that stays intact from the Nighthawks pitching staff from last season that led them to a 2023 NCAA Division II National Championship, along with Davis Denton, Sophie Mooney, and Delaney Heberlin. And the 1-1 pitch. It's going to be outside for ball 2. And Aniston Wright, in the midway point of last season, had some huge games for the Nighthawks after they dropped a couple of games to Columbus State in the middle of the season. She came up big for the Nighthawks as she pitches a strike there. And the 2-2 pitch, a swing and a miss as Aniston Wright on her first matchup this afternoon gets a strikeout. And now the Jags down to their potential final out in this game. We'll see if Ryan Hansen can keep this game alive for the Jags, a sophomore out of Pittsford, New York. As she keeps this one in the infield, and the flip to first, well on time, and that is gonna do it. The Nighthawks secure back-to-back, or they secure their first win of the series here in Game 1, picking up their 14th win in a row this season, and extend their winning streak against Augusta to 23 straight games, as Augusta now falls to 12-16 on the season with a rematch between these two squads just around the corner. We'll be back with you in 30 minutes for Game 2 of our doubleheader between North Georgia and Augusta. On behalf of the rest of our talented NSN crew, this is Robert D. Clementi saying so long. Game 2 coming up in 30 minutes. Again, your final score from Game 1. Nighthawks win big, 12-0. We'll be back with you shortly on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Of course.